This coming Sunday, we celebrate the Solemnity of Mary, the Mother of God. It's always celebrated on January 1st, and this year that date falls on a Sunday. In many ways, this feast continues our celebration of Christmas. Our gospel is taken from Luke's account, chapter 2, verses 16 through 21. Let's take a listen. The shepherds went in haste to Bethlehem and found Mary and Joseph and the infant lying in the manger. When they saw this, they made known the message that had been told them about this child. All who heard it were amazed by what had been told them by the shepherds. And Mary kept all these things, reflecting on them in her heart. Then the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen, just as it had been told to them. When 8 days were completed for his circumcision, he was named Jesus, the name given him by the angel before he was conceived in the womb. As we hear the account of the shepherds visiting the tiny Christ child in the manger in Bethlehem, we realize that they could not contain their joy. In fact, they were among the very first evangelizers. The gospel says they made known the message that had been told them about this child. And then we hear, all who heard it were amazed by what had been told them by the shepherds. News of Jesus' birth began to be spread by the shepherds, and it was well received. Luke then tells us that Mary kept all these things, reflecting on them in her heart. How many things Mary had to keep in her heart: the journey to Jerusalem and having to stop in Bethlehem to give birth with no room at the inn, with the unusual visitors, angels and shepherds. How many things can any one person keep in their heart? I imagine that we all have a certain amount of room in our hearts, and only the most important events, the most important people, the most important aspects of our lives find their way into that place. Mary's heart then must have been large. From Jesus' birth till his death on the cross and his resurrection appearances, Mary is in a most unique place to witness the events of Jesus' life. What do you keep in your heart? Is your relationship with Jesus kept in your heart? Are you aware that Jesus, the tiny child of Bethlehem, always wants to find that place of rest in your heart? There was no room at the inn. Is there room in your heart for that tiny child to be born? The Word of God continues to be proclaimed, and we want it to find a resting place in our hearts, where in the fertile soil of our hearts it can take root, flourish, and grow, and produce great fruit. As we look to Mary, the Mother of God, we have a great model of what it means to take the important events of life into our hearts and to ponder them. It really is a kind of prayer. Let the gospel fill your week. See you in church. Happy New Year 2023. For now, God bless.